Welcome to Rob and Tony's Cinematic Adventure. I'm Rob Wilson.
And I am Tony the Quano.
So, Tony, let's move on from our summer blockbuster series because that officially ended last week.
It did?
So, let's go into something that's not quite as well known, but also the whole reason we're doing this particular a movie with this particular star.
Right.
Is because we recently lost an amazing actor who's done some amazing movies.
Yes, he has.
Just recently, Terence Stamp has passed away. So let's talk about one of his movies tonight.
I think that's appropriate. I mean, I know we did one recently, but I think it's appropriate to do one again.
Yes. I mean, we did one. Yeah, I mean, we did Superman 2. That, yes, he is a major, major part of it. But he's not the main character in Superman 2.
No, he's not.
Because, I mean, it's called Superman, not Zod.
You could just make a movie about Zod.
You could.
Zod.
You could. In fact, they probably should. It's such a rich character that that could work.
It could.
But no, let's talk about one of his lesser thought of movies when you think of Terence Stamp, at least to the general public.
To the general public. No, he made his mark mostly the 60s, 70s, and 80s.
Yeah. So let's go to the 1999.
And at this point, he's one, at this point, if he was in anything more notable, he was usually a supporting character.
Yeah.
But here he gets the lead.
He is a lead in this movie. Yeah, he is the titular character in this movie.
And that movie is the Limey.
Yes, it is.
Directed by Steven Soderbergh.
Yeah. Now,
I believe this will be our first movie about his.
Yeah, I think it is. I think it is. This was his follow-up to Men in Black, wasn't it?
That was Barry Sonnenfeld.
Oh, that was Sonnenfeld.
Steven Soderbergh.
You're right.
This was his
Soderbergh. Yeah, similar names.
This was his follow-up to Out of Sight with J-Lo and George Clooney.
That's right.
And this was an interesting period of his kind of career. See, his first movie that he made that put him on the map was Sex, Lies, and Videotapes, which is generally regarded as one of the defining independent movies of the 80s to the early 90s. And for a while he just kept doing independent movies, and his kind of breakout studio film was Out of Sight. And then soon after, he had Aaron Brockovich with Julia Roberts. He had the sprawling kind of epic, and then his remake, right? But in between all that, he had this small little independent movie, The Limey.
The Limey, starring Terence Stamp,
and Luis Guzman.
This is our
Peter
first...
Fonda also.
Yes, Peter Fonda also.
But as you were saying, yes, also our first. This is our first Luis Guzman movie.
Yes, it is our first Luis Guzman and our first Peter Fonda, but not our first Terence Stamp. That's
right. As we discussed, he was. I guess we had technically two movies of his, since he's briefly in the first Superman movie.
Yes, he is.
And he's obviously more of a feature in Superman 2.
Mm-hmm.
So, interesting thing about Luis Guzman, since we were talking about this pre-show, As how he's a lot older than I think he should be. He's 69 years old, right?
Yeah.
And like I I kind of remember him from this era of movies. I think he's 69. That seems unreasonable. All right. Well, however, he just recently turned 69. He turned 69 a couple days ago on August 28th. You share a birthday with
Yes,
Luis Guzman.
I do. I do. I share a birthday with Luis Guzman. I also share a birthday with Jack Black.
So, hey. We'll be doing a Jack Black movie one of these days too. I'm pretty certain.
Yeah. Yeah,
Whether
I'm
it's
sure we will.
School of Rock or Tropic Thunder.
Yeah. We'll be doing one at some point. Tenacious D.
But I'm going to talk
Pick
about
of
the
Destiny.
Limey. Oh, Tenacious D would be a good one. Yes. But tonight, no, we're talking about the Limey tonight,
Mm-hmm.
which I could also think, we could just as easily call it Terence Stamp Stares into Your Soul.
Yes, you could easily call it that.
Because there's a lot of shots in this movie where he's just staring.
Yes.
And it feels like he's staring straight into your soul.
Yes. Yes. No,
Like he's the lead in this movie and you root for him, but like he kind of scares you because he's staring straight into your soul and he's looking at you because, Terence Stamp just has that piercing look.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like
which is why he was terrific for Zod.
Yes, absolutely. But yeah, this is one of those movies where the guy you're rooting for is not a good guy.
No, it's pretty well established.
But the antagonists of this movie are worse people.
Yes. Except maybe one who just happens to just be in the line of work of being a bodyguard, and
yeah,
he's definitely in over his head.
Yeah,
I'm not sure how he came to that job, and we'll get to his character.
Mm-hmm.
But Terence Stamp dispatches him pretty easily.
Yeah, yeah. Yes, this movie, while I was watching it brought back it kind of had the same feel of a couple different movies that we've talked about on the podcast. So,
okay,
first off, I mean, there's the obvious, John Wick parallels.
Yeah, it's not to get too deep into it. Yeah, it is a revenge type of revenge movie. The revenge drives the plot.
Yes, but the other movie that it really reminded me of, at least having the same kind of feel, was Memento.
Yes, I thought about that too. Actually, I didn't think about it actively watching it, but then next day or two, kind of chewing over it and thinking about it, I had that same thought. This is slightly like Memento.
Mm-hmm.
It's obviously not the same structure of it.
No, not
but
the
it's
same
very
structure,
similar.
Not the same story, really. I mean, in a way, it is kind of, because Memento, he's going after, the guy that killed his wife.
Well, there's revenge there too. Revenge drives that plot
at
too.
the same time,
honest,
it's mostly just the way that the cuts are done, and just these sudden, scene cuts and
right,
just random.
Yeah,
we'll see 3 or 4 times in a row just the same shot of him walking across in front of a wall.
Yes,
down the sidewalk.
I love how when they do that, we can we'll go more into it when we get there. But it's I love how they some of it's just in slow motion, and then finally after several cuts and things, then it's just kind of regular speed again.
Yeah,
right.
And then look, there's the same shot but a different angle.
Yes, right. And it's really kind of it's structured in a very it's interesting how they do it. And again, I get it because how you process kind of your memory and events can kind of get fit like that, right? Things can kind of overlap, and then we play it one way, and then we play it another way in your head. Because I mean, this movie is done from his like point of view,
Yeah,
pretty much.
it is.
Right. Um, I get it. Grant, there's obviously shots that it's not a first person perspective in terms of camera angle. I mean, there are a few shots like that, I guess. But yeah, it's really all his story. Like, Terence Stamp is probably in 95% of this movie.
Oh yeah.
There's probably 2 or 3 scenes that probably feature the Peter Fonda character.
Well, I mean, there's more than just 2 or 3 scenes there with Peter Fonda. I'd say Terence Stamp probably has more 85 to 90% screen time.
Yeah.
And the rest is Peter Fonda.
Yeah, basically. There's a few other supporting characters, but any of those other supporting characters are essentially in with either one of them.
They typically share the screen with either one of them.
Save for one. There is one scene that does not feature either one of them. And that's when they have it's Peter Fonda's lawyer.
Yes.
Has a brief scene in this also, which by the way, also with Fonda. We don't have a Jane Fonda movie yet. There's not a Bridget Fonda movie.
Mm-hmm. This is our first Fonda.
There is no Henry Fonda movie yet, and yeah, so first Fonda. No Katharine Hepburn movie yet either, since she was very much part of that family too. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So took us almost 100 episodes to get the Fonda movie, and here it is.
Yep.
But Peter Fonda is also really good in this.
Now we did discuss doing a Bridget Fonda movie during our Nicolas Cage miniseries during the summer blockbusters.
Yes.
We briefly discussed talking about It Could Happen to You.
That's right. She is in that. Yep.
But we decided against doing that one this time.
Jackie Brown could always happen. So
yes, it could. In fact,
but
I will at some point.
I'm glad you brought up the Memento connection, because I thought about that too.
It's like the whole time I'm watching this movie, I'm just thinking, this is a very similar style to Memento.
Yes. So this is your first time watching it, right?
Yes, this is my first time watching this movie.
So this is my second time watching it, but it's been a very long time. The first time I watched it was really, it was back in the Netflix DVD days, right?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think it was at some point I'd read, I think it wasn't long after, probably watching Superman 2. I was going around it's reading things about Terence Stamp, and I'd read a lot of people kind of highly recommending this movie. So I think I put it in my queue, and I watched it one evening. I remember enjoying it then. And so, yeah, I'm glad we got a chance to do this. Because, I mean, it was mostly like a new rewatch for me. I mean, there's a few things about that I remembered, but a lot of it I had forgotten.
Yeah.
Again, some of it's kind of that structure of the different cuts, and like you can tell that, like, while you're watching it, that it's some of the stuff is stuff that is taking place before the main action, or the action that you're kind of the scene you just saw.
Mm-hmm.
After it's the feature towards the end of the movie, and stuff that's like presently happening, and it kind of cuts back and forth to stuff that happened before that we've seen, right? Yeah, and then sometimes we'll just jump and you just have kind of like straight narrative for a little bit, right? And then it starts doing some of the cuts again. Mm-hmm. So it's but it's all done well enough for you to follow it.
Yes.
It never gets confusing.
No, it doesn't.
Which is, it's a credit to the direction, it's a credit to the editor, and Terence Stamp owns this role.
Yes.
Like he's terrific. Just an awesome showcase of his acting ability.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, Terence Stamp is great in this role. He does a great job in this movie. Now, it's not. So I enjoyed this movie. I didn't love this
Okay.
movie.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I love it either. It's a good watch.
Mm-hmm.
Would say, like, if you're trying to recommend different Terence Stamp movies to watch, yeah, I would put in with that.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, it's not one that I don't know. It's one that I would like run out and want to buy right away.
Right, I get that.
But I mean, I enjoyed it. If it were on a Saturday afternoon, just on TV or something, flip through the channels.
It is one of those good
maybe,
movies. It was kind of flipping through. It's like, okay, yeah, rainy Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
I think it fits for what we're doing for the, kind of what we did last year. Like, okay, so that's definitely. I mean, this is definitely an independent movie, right? It's not met. It's that in of itself, it's not trying to be some big blockbuster. It's trying to be this smaller, kind of more character-driven type of movie.
Yeah, and it works
so
really well.
I think it fits well for what we're doing here.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
the other actor I really did enjoy this a lot because he's really sleazy is Barry Newman.
Yes.
I think he's outside of like Terence Stamp. I think he kind of really like is probably steals the scenes he's in.
Yeah.
Which I had never seen Vanishing Point, which he is well known for that from back in the 70s, which I've never seen.
I have not seen that one either.
But yeah. He reminded me, there was an actor he reminded me of. I saw him, like, oh, yeah. I knew it wasn't this particular actor, but I kept seeing the resemblance, and I can't think of it right now, but yeah, he was definitely I think outside Terence Stamp, he's the one that takes the cake for this one, takes the show. Steals the show, I should say.
Yep. Definitely.
We also Leslie Ann Warren is in this small role. Joe Daltrey is in this.
Yep.
We have Nikki Katt. We have Melissa George playing Terence Stamp's daughter.
Mm-hmm.
He was also in a movie that we've discussed as potentially doing in the future, Dark City.
Yes. Yes.
And we have someone from last year's, a movie we did last September. Bill Duke in this movie.
Yes, we do have Bill Duke in this movie. I was not expecting to see him in this movie. He popped up on screen, and my first thought was, "Hey, it's Bill Duke."
And because he's Bill Duke, and he's in the movie for like 2 minutes, those 2 minutes, you can't keep your eyes off the screen because he's Bill Duke.
It's Bill Duke. Only in this movie, he's not dry shaving in the middle of the jungle.
He also doesn't get mutilated by an alien.
No, he doesn't.
I think that means that we need to see more. We need more Bill Duke movies. We need to do Commando. We need to do Menace to Society. Payback.
Yep. It's been a while since I've seen Payback.
Yeah. We need more Bill Duke movies in our life.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. We need Bill Duke to become the new Harrison Ford on this podcast.
I mean, we're starting to run out of Harrison Ford movies.
We are, but there's still plenty we haven't done, so we're not running out of Harrison Ford movies.
We haven't done Regarding Henry or Witness. I got Air Force One still, so yeah, there's plenty out there.
Yeah, there's plenty of Harrison Ford movies we haven't done yet, so I don't think we're in danger of running out anytime soon. But Bill Duke movies, we need to get on that.
Yes, we do. So one of the kind of little aside to this before I guess we jump into the movie is that there's there's scenes in here that are like true flashbacks that
Yes.
go back to well before the main narrative for the movie. The younger Terence Stamp. It is a young Terence Stamp because they used scenes from a previous
Okay.
Terence Stamp
I was
movie.
wondering how they were
Mm,
doing that because he
yes.
clearly looked younger.
Yes. And this is 1999. They did not have like we
They didn't
like
have the
five
de-aging technology that they have today.
listen, 5 years ago, or 6 years ago when Scorsese did The Irishman, like even with the biggest budget they could do with that, like they could not convincingly make De Niro look like
No.
a 20-something-year-old man.
No.
So I doubt in 1999 they could de-age Terrence Stamp 30 years. Yes. So it's actually from a Ken Loach movie from 1967 called Poor Cow.
Okay. Poor cow.
Um, I don't have a brief synopsis of it. I have just the full plot. But Terrence Stamp is second billed in that movie, so he's one of the main characters next to Carol White.
Okay.
But it's a British movie from the late 60s. So, and that's appropriate because, yeah, the end of the movie in particular, we hear a song from that he's playing from Donovan, and Donovan wrote the music for that movie.
Interesting.
I should also mention, since we were kind of talking about the editing, the editor of the movie is Sarah Flack, who has done a bunch of has been a primary editor for Sofia Coppola's movies. Lost in Translation, Marie Antoinette, The Bling Ring. Lem Dobbs is the writer for the Limey. He wrote Dark City also.
Cliff Martinez is the composer, and
This is the next one I was going to look for.
yeah,
Composer.
Cliff Martinez, which the music's interesting in this movie. It doesn't seem to have like a score as much as random keys being played on the piano throughout the movie.
Yes. And then it uses a bunch of like songs from like the 60s and 70s.
Yeah. I mean, it fits with the movie,
It does.
but
Yes.
it's not so much a score that you would like as you would think of a score for a movie.
I guess Soderbergh's kind of like that. He does his own thing.
Mm-hmm.
And especially if he's going very independent like he does here.
Yeah.
It's just really what I mean, Steven. I mean, again, like he did, he did Ocean's 11 not long after this, and he's kind of gone back to, I'm just going to do my own thing again. Except for the Killer recently, that was really good. He had that. That was a little bit more of a mainstream type of movie, but yeah, like overall, like you said, I love, but it's a revenge type movie, but it's done well.
Yeah.
It's engaging.
Yeah.
And it's Terence Stamp, and so Terence Stamp is definitely going to help carry the movie.
Terence Stamp is a legendary actor. So
And I do think you need, as you said earlier, that his character is not a good guy, and I think he more or less he's kind of owns that he's not a good guy. He says that, but more or less.
He doesn't try. He doesn't pretend to be a good guy.
No. But for this type of role in the movie, like you still need kind of like how you need an actor that can help you at least root for him.
Yeah.
Where it's like, okay, yeah, he's not a good guy, but the other guys are also are worse, and he's not so horrible that it's like, okay, I can't watch this at all because I just despise everybody.
Yeah.
Kind of like another Bill Duke movie that we talked about, Payback.
Yeah. But no, Terence Stamp plays this role brilliantly.
He does. He shows off why he's such a legendary actor and so well respected.
Yes.
Or was so well respected. So, and why, he got all the accolades, and why we were paying tribute to him.
Yeah.
And I think it's a good movie to tribute to him because, again, he's in like Like we said, about 85, 90% of the movie, and it definitely showcases his talent,
Yes.
including staring into your soul.
Yes. There are not many actors that can actually stare into your soul like that.
But he just stares straight at the screen,
Mm-hmm.
and he's staring into it. He was staring into my soul 30 years ago, and to like be watching it like in 2025.
Yeah.
1999 Terence Stamp staring at 2025 like Tony DeQuano.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's probably what he was thinking too when he was filming it. Like, I'm going to stare into this camera because in 25 years there's going to be a guy on a podcast
Doing a podcast as a tribute to me.
I'm going to stare into his soul in particular. So, anyway, should we get into it?
We could dive into it.
Let's get into it. So, as always, spoiler alert, we're going to be talking about this entire movie, beginning, middle, and end. So, if you have not seen it, pause the podcast, watch the movie, and come back and listen. If you have seen it, or you just don't mind being spoiled, and keep on listening. But you have been warned. We're going to be spoiling this movie.
Yes, and again, a lot of you might not have seen it, and there is definitely a lot to spoil. But so, and I love it because it's a Terence Stamp movie. It just has to start with his voice.
Yeah,
and it's just the blackout screen right now. And again, it's Terence Stamp voice. And
yes,
it
Terence
means
Stamp.
business.
Terence Stamp had a great voice.
He's like.
Terence Stamp had a fantastic voice.
And so that's why when this movie just starts and its first line is "Tell me," right? you know,
yes,
things will not get pleasant for some people in this movie.
No.
And then he just says it again. "Tell me."
Yeah.
And he finally says, "Tell me about Jenny."
Which so this is another thing that I like. It was interesting for me to watch this movie because Terence Stamp plays a guy with the last name Wilson. Right? My last name's Wilson. His daughter's name is Jennifer. I have a sister named Jennifer. So anytime that they're like, tell me about Jenny Wilson. Why do you want to know about my sister?
As we will find out very shortly, she has recently died.
My sister hasn't. His daughter has.
No. If you're listening to this podcast,
the real life,
she's okay. Yeah. She's alive. She's okay. No. So yeah, he says this, and then it cuts to The Secret by The Who, right?
Yeah.
And he fades in, and he's at the airport. Right? And he's just, he wears a tie a lot in this movie.
Yes, he does.
Which would make you think he's kind of like this, not necessarily a businessman,
he's
but
dapper.
Would make it, he's very dapper.
He's dapper.
Very British. Very British. And it's funny because, I think
one might even call him a Limey.
Initially, it almost portrays him like he might be some higher level type criminal.
Mm-hmm.
No, he's not. He's just a common thief.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like that aspect. That's just, he's a common thief.
Yeah. It's revealed not too far into the movie that he just got out of a 9-year prison sentence for armed robbery.
Right. And that's not his first prison sentence that he served in his life.
No.
He's been in and out of jail most of his life. Much to his daughter Jenny's, disappointment.
Yeah.
But we can kind of get into some of those details, right? But so it fades in. The Seeker by the Who is playing, and he's at the airport and he gets into a cab, right? So he's in Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm.
As we talked about, obviously, a lot of movies take place in Los Angeles.
Yes.
Very easy to stand in when most of the studios are in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And this movie wouldn't work as well in New York, to be honest. So
No, it wouldn't. It works very well in Los Angeles.
you need to be in this needs to be in LA.
Yeah.
And this is when you start kind of getting some of those different kind of cuts, right? You cut some scenes where he's on the airplane, right? And he's looking at like newspaper clippings, right? And it finally gets to his motel, right? And it's kind of one of those 2-story motels, right? You got the balcony and he's walking along it. And, he looks at this, clipping, right? And, no, we don't get the clipping yet. But, I love how, like, again, it's like classic kind of like Los Angeles. Motels near the airport. See a plane flying overhead,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then he gets in the motel. And I saw this room. And I don't know, maybe it's just me. To me, it looked like it was the room in Pulp Fiction.
Yes.
Where Bruce Willis hides out.
Yes. It was very reminiscent of that room.
Maybe it's because a lot of hotels might have like rooms that are very similar to that. And
yeah.
Maybe
it's the same hotel.
Maybe it's just like in the 90s, this motel is like, hey, you can use my motel rooms for movie shoots, right?
Yeah. I mean, but yeah, it was very reminiscent of the
shower,
like motel.
It's that shower, it's got the kind of that foggy door with the towel handle.
Yeah,
right?
The sliding
on the outside.
Door.
You just have to like open and slide the door. Yeah. And I saw that and I was thinking of Bruce Willis and all his Bruceness.
Yeah.
Which we'll be talking about all his Bruceness soon.
Yes, we will.
Right. So we get shots of him in his room and he's dressed, and again they're getting these different shots of things happening. And I think we get a shot probably of his daughter, and that's when you kind of get this. He looks at this newspaper clipping about a woman that dies on Mulholland Drive, right, in a car accident. Car was in a crash, it caught fire, and she died.
Yeah.
Right. And then he brings out, he has like this envelope and it has this name on it. This guy named Terry Valentine. Right. But the envelope came from this guy, Ed Roll, ROEL, and it has his address, which is there in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
So he takes a ride.
So he goes to Ed's house, Ed Roll. And who answers the door? Well, Luis Guzman. And
Terence Stamp's like, "That's your name is not Ed."
Yeah. He's like, "I'm looking for Ed Roll." He's like, "It's Eduardo Roel." ROEL. Roel. And so
it's just, typical Los Angeles house.
Yeah. So they're talking, and first of all,
he talks about how like you wrote
Stamp
me about my daughter.
Yeah. He's saying in a somewhat threatening way, like he's talking to at first. He's talking to him in a somewhat threatening manner because he thinks that he may have something to do with his daughter's death.
Right. But he's never met this guy. Yeah. This guy just sent him a letter. It's perfectly reasonable to think, okay, how connected is he to her death?
So real quick,
but he's not going to
real quick, Ed is like, yeah, I was just her friend.
Because he looks at it like, that's Terence Stamp.
Yeah.
He means business.
He's about to stare into my soul, so I need to talk. So he's like,
So
I didn't have anything to do with her death. I was just a friend. I helped her out. And I'm
right.
willing to tell you whatever you need to know. If I know the answer to your question, I will answer it.
That's right. I like how when he answers to, he just, I guess, before Luis Guzman or Eduardo kind of diffuses the situation, Terrence is like, my name's Wilson. You wrote me.
And see here, like at this point, like I didn't know. It's not 100% clear if you can really trust Luis Guzman at this point.
No, you can't. They actually
one
play
of those,
that well.
Yeah, this is one of those points where it's very similar to Memento, where Luis Guzman kind of reminded me a little bit at the beginning here of Joey Pants and Memento. Is he really more nefarious than he lets on?
Yeah, and they played that for a little while. They kind of, it's a I like that. They kind of keep that close to the vest, like, because like exactly, we don't know who he can trust.
Yeah,
and I think in some ways in his mind he kind of understands that too. He is a thief. He has worked with people that have probably double crossed him before.
Yeah,
right. So he goes in and, like, again, and this is through this first kind of conversation he's having with Eduardo, we're kind of cutting between things with their conversation. They're having this conversation, but they're also cutting back and forth.
So they're having this conversation on things. Eduardo's back porch.
On his back porch. Yes. It's nice. It's Los Angeles. They're enjoying a drink. And he's kind of like, well, who done it? Right. And again, like, it's cutting back and forth. There's scenes again of him, like, on the plane and back in the hotel room, or him just smoking a cigarette, right?
Yeah. And it's just, it seems, it's kind of all over the place here.
It is.
Because it's just jumping around to, everywhere. And then I think this, like, at the beginning here, it's very confusing with that kind of jumping all over the place, but then as the movie goes on, those jumps make more sense.
Yes, it falls into place. So they're continuing the conversation, right? And he just says, he's just asking, like, again, that's what he asked, like, well, who done it, right? And it's like, and Eduardo's like, I never said anyone snuffed her, right? And it's like, well, then how did she die? And it's like, oh yeah, maybe she was like drinking or smoking pot before she was driving, and she ran off the cliff, right? And he looks like, no, she had self-control. She would never allow that to happen, right? So they're talking, and he sees Eduardo has some tats on him, right? And he just wants to know, where he got the ink. Right? And then they realize they have a bond. They've both been to prison.
Yes. They've both been to prison.
So, they keep talking. So he finally asks about this bloke, Terry Valentine. All right. We don't know that Terry Valentine, though, is played by Peter Fonda. He will come in to the movie later.
Yep.
And is this the scene? I know that they have a few scenes. It keeps coming back and forth. And it kind of jumps to a scene where you have him and Eduardo, and they're meeting these young kids, like, in this park, and
they're buying
they're
guns
doing
from
a gun deal.
Yeah, they're sitting at a picnic table, and and you see Terence Stamp's hand going to the gun with the wad of cash, and then you see the kids give him a gun, and then they give him another gun.
And then Eduardo, he's just standing there in the middle, brokering the deal. Making sure there's no cops around as they're obviously passing stuff under the
Yeah.
table.
And I mean, there's not like anything around this table to block the view of under the table.
No.
So anybody who's looking at this table can clearly see them passing cash and guns under the table.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Especially since, like, with how far they're reaching under the table, they would have to
it's
lean
a good sized
way down.
table. Like it's not.
They'd have to lean
really
way down to get their
extend.
arm that far.
Yes.
But hey, they don't get caught. Yeah. So then was it Eduardo that takes him to the?
He'll eventually take him there, but first he tells him about how a few weeks before she died, she took him to this warehouse.
Yes.
Because the night before, she heard Terry talking on the phone to somebody.
Yeah.
So, oh, that's right. And, Eduardo at first, he's a little bit reluctant to get back involved, right? Because, like, I remember he was saying, because he does tell us, like, I knew I was going to regret dropping that letter in the mailbox.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Yeah, he doesn't want to get involved, but, he realized something was up because of this meeting. Or not meeting, but when he drove Terry to this secluded warehouse.
Yes.
And how they didn't go in, but they were just observing what was going on and different things moving around, right? That's what it said. A couple weeks before she died, she asked me to drive her downtown, said she was meeting a boyfriend. But I think, not, but yeah, he says, I don't think he was meeting her. Or she was meeting him. I think she was looking for him. Right? And it's like Wilson's like, with another bird. That's the other thing. He always speaks like in English or British, whatever you want to put it, right? Which is something that's said later in the movie. But so they didn't go to a hotel, they went to a warehouse. And there's just some guys are loading stuff on off trucks, right? And one of my favorite movies, like, I don't know what they were shipping. I don't care. Maybe it was fava beans and Eskimos. Right. And so, they left. And then he drove her back to Valentine's house. Right. And then, when we got there, he was waiting for her. Right. That was the last time I saw her. And it's the only ever, it's like the second time I ever saw him. Right. So, and then he recommends that he talk to one of her friends, or their friends, that a mutual friend of theirs, Elaine. He was, I guess, like an acting coach that had coached both of them.
Yeah.
And then he also wants, he warns Wilson, like, if you're going to the Valentine's house, like, because he lives up in the hills and the winding roads, just be careful at night.
Yeah, and Elaine is played by Leslie Ann Warren.
So before he goes to the warehouse, does he meet up with, do we have scenes with him and Elaine first? I don't think so.
I don't think so. Yeah, I think he meets Elaine after the warehouse.
Right. So this is with the warehouse. This is where we get the slow-mo walk.
Yes.
And we get several shots of him walking in front of this building.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you know what's going to happen as we're seeing this, and it's cutting back and forth, right? But finally it settles in. And he uses a fence cutter, right? So he has it's just a chain link fence, right? There's no barbed wire, there's no razor wire, right? It's trying to look as inconspicuous as possible, right?
Yeah.
So, he cuts it, right? And, he gets in, and there's this lovely, first thing he sees, there's just this youngish guy, probably like a college kid. He's sweeping in the warehouse.
Yeah.
And, he's got one of those big, like, brooms that's, like, a foot long that, that you're going to sweep, like,
broom.
warehouse floors with.
He's got,
right?
Yeah.
So, and I guess yeah, and again, like even here, like the kind of this guy is oh yeah, I like the guy's name. The actual actor's name is I think Rainbow Burden.
Yeah, Rainbow Borden. The warehouse sweeper. That's his character's name.
What an appropriate name for him.
Yes.
Warehouse sweeper. Because hey,
So,
we will see him sweep throughout this
I
entire
mean,
scene.
what's crazy is, I mean, his last name, I mean, Sweeper. And, with a name like Warehouse Sweeper, there's only one job for you. You got to sweep a warehouse.
That's right.
I mean, his parents had a specific job in mind for him when they named him.
Yeah, look at these other roles he was. Gone in 60 Seconds. He was carjacker number 1.
All right, well,
City of Angels. Hold up, man.
Has
TV.
he ever been in a movie or TV show where he actually has a name?
Well, hey, Ed TV. He is New York guy.
New York guy. Okay. Guy.
Oh, here we go. 2009. He was in a movie called Sugar Box with 2 X's. His character was Elmer Lee Fish.
Okay, well, there was one movie where he actually had a name. Elmer Lee Fish. That's a name.
Yes, he's a glue and an aquatic animal.
Yes.
Hey, here we go. He was in an episode of Justified, and he played JD.
Okay.
All right, and for whatever reason, this and a few other things he's done recently, instead of going by Rainbow Borden, he's gone by Bo Borden.
Okay. I could see that.
So,
but
anyway, so, and then you kind of cut back to a few other scenes. Like there's another scene that kind of cuts back to Eduardo or Ed, and he's telling him to be careful. It's like, do you want me to help you? It's like, no, you can't be too careful with tea leaves. Luis Guzman's just looking at him. He's like, what do you mean tea leaves?
Yeah.
It's like thieves. So, yep. So we got warehouse sweeper there. Just he's sweeping.
He's sweeping.
Right. And he's looking around. He finally finds he seems to be like there's a few guys that are looking for him. The DM's like, oh, who are you? Like, what are you doing here? And then he sees like this little office with like this manager of the warehouse there, right? And he goes over him and he's just interrogating him about Terry Valentine, right? And he goes like, I don't know. And he doesn't deny it, right? Right? But he's like, well, who are you? Right?
Yeah.
And I love how he's like, I'm not very well known. Right? And who's the warehouse? Okay, the warehouse foreman. William
foreman.
Lucking.
Yes.
He was in Red Dragon. And The World's Fastest Indian. 2 different Anthony Hopkins movies. So, but he finally gets fed up with Wilson and has some of his thugs try to tussle with him, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then, not before, Wilson is able to.
Yeah, he's able to start
kind of get some of the information that he wants. He goes to he's able to get Terry Valentine's name out of the Rolodex that he has.
Yeah, so he basically attacks the foreman, and while he's got the foreman down, and then he is flipping through the Rolodex, and he pulls the card out with Terry Valentine's information.
That's right.
On it. And that's when the thugs
come
in, and they get Wilson off of the foreman, and they find a revolver in his pocket, and then so the foreman tells them to throw him out. They go and they throw.
And we still
throw him out on the street, and they tell him if he ever comes back there, they'll kill him.
Right, and it's kind of funny. Like they talk about Terry being pussy whipped, right? As they're clearly disturbed that Wilson's that's here. And they're kind of blaming Valentine for it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, and he talks about, and you hear him talk about the foreman talk about, I'm going to call, we'll call Avery about this. He's telling this to the thugs, right? Meanwhile, our sweeper, he's still there. He's making sure they got the cleanest floor in Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Now he's got to clean up some blood because
now he's
Wilson broke the dude's nose.
He's going to become the warehouse mopper.
I like how when they throw him out, right? They it's like, we will shoot you, fucko. and then they make the mistake of calling him an English fuck.
Yeah.
Right? So, Wilson, he gets up, he strengthens himself up a little bit, and we see him walking back towards the warehouse.
He just walks right back toward there, and
remember when we saw the deal earlier, there was not just we didn't say gun.
No, there were two guns.
Guns.
He had a revolver and a semi-auto, and they took the revolver from him. And as he's walking up to the garage at the warehouse, he reaches back, he pulls up his jacket, and in the back of his pants, he's got that semi-auto tucked in there. And so he pulls that out, walks in there, and then it's still showing from the outside of the building.
Yeah,
we just hear...
You see the loading dock, and you see the entrance.
Yeah, we hear, I think, like 6 gunshots.
Yeah, something like that. We hear something like, like they scream like, what the hell? Right? And you hear the gunshots. And then we see the young guy. We see our sweeper.
Yes, we see warehouse sweeper running out.
He's running out.
He's running out of the garage. And then we see Terence Stamp come out after him.
Blood all over his face.
Blood all over his face, just splattered all over him. Not his blood.
No.
He comes out and he stops in the driveway and he just yells out, "Tell him I'm coming! Tell him I'm coming!"
And then the camera pauses.
Yeah.
And he stares into your soul.
Yes, he stares into your soul.
Because if you're listening and you might be able to talk to Terry Valentine, he needs you to know that you gotta tell him that he's coming.
Mm-hmm.
And if Terence Stamp wants me to tell someone that he's coming, I'm gonna tell them. I saw Superman 2. I know what Zod's capable of.
Indeed. Yeah, we cut to Terry Valentine.
Yep. And first, we see his there's a guy in the this like deck patio. This takes place in Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so Terry Valentine's man has a lot of money. So it's one typical kind of house. It's like in the Hollywood Hills that has, these nice decks and pools that are on the side of these hills, just looking over Los Angeles, right?
Yeah.
And you have a guy talking on the phone with him. It's like, oh yeah, no, just someone said that, said, tell him I'm coming.
Tell who?
Right.
Who's coming?
It's like, I don't know. He didn't get a name. He was just the sweeper.
He was the sweeper. And Terry Valentine's like, well, get this man a mop. He's getting a promotion.
He's getting a promotion.
So, but Valentine's talking he's there. He's talking to his main bodyguard.
Yes,
like his right hand man.
And really, at the time, he's just kind of like wondering, like what. I guess they kind of about that later about how Terry himself is really more of a money launderer for other more nefarious people, right? Yeah. And we kind of find out later that he used to be a big record producer who is, kind of fallen hard times. And he needs, so he's using, his name to kind of help launder money for other outfits as a ways of, making sure he can still live the lifestyle that he wants to live.
And we also have in this part, we're introduced to
his present girlfriend,
the current day version of Jenny. You know, she. I don't know. It's never really explained if she lives in that house or if she lives somewhere else and she's just always there.
Yes, they don't really get that deep into it. Now there's a character that's it's horror, correct?
Yes, Adhara.
Amelia Hanley.
Hindley. And she has nothing to do with his business, anything like that. She's just his current girlfriend.
I could have told you this, but she was actually prior to this. I guess this is a British TV series. No, maybe not. I don't know it's called. Loving. I guess it used to be a soap opera.
Yeah, she's done a lot of soap opera stuff.
Loving takes place in the fictional town of Corinth, Pennsylvania, and centers on the lives of the wealthy Alden family. And after this, she became a regular on The Young and the Restless. There still is a character on The Young and the Restless. She has done 2,638 episodes of Young and the Restless.
Wow. That's a lot of Young and Restless stuff going on. You'd think they'd come up with a way to deal with that restlessness.
My dad's mother was a As the World Turns lady.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know anything really about Young and the Restless.
Yeah.
They can't be that young and restless anymore.
Yeah.
Because that show's been on forever.
It really has been.
Anyhow. So yeah, after you have this little scene at, Terry's house. Yeah, I think this is when, Ed tells Wilson about Elaine. Right? And how, he was saying, I was friends with Jenny, but, we kind of travel in different circles. And, I met, Elaine, at my acting class. Right? So he ends up, meeting Elaine, or Wilson ends up meeting Elaine.
Wilson ends up meeting Elaine, and, at first she doesn't really want anything to do with him. Really. I mean, she's, willing to talk to him about Jenny.
Jenny has told her about her dad.
Yeah. Jenny's told her about her dad and that, how she was totally against everything that her dad was doing. And yeah, right. So Elaine didn't really, she was willing to talk about Jenny because she was friends with Jenny. But
and the way Jenny kind of presented it to Elaine, it sounds like other people in California, right? Because I think they established that she got to California just a little bit before he went to prison on his most recent stretch, right? So about 10 years or so, right? And he did, as you said, it was a 9-year stretch that he did. That she presents it to Elaine and others that she never really had much contact with him, which we find out's not really true, right? And he just says, "Oh no, I was in and out of her life at different times." It's kind of how he says it, and it's because he's been in and out of prison much of his life.
Yeah, so she's when he tells her that he's looking for Valentine. For Terry Valentine, she's like, well, do you need his contact info? He's like, nope, I have that.
I'm good. Yeah, that's and then so they're talking. It's like, well, do you think he'll really tell you what happened? Really, or do you think he'll just volunteer it? It's like, I'll bloody ask him.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is at the point now where we really kind of, and almost straight narrative. You don't have a whole lot of cutting back and
there's
forth,
not a whole lot of
between the different
cuts.
times.
Yeah. So
So he decides to take a little drive with Eduardo,
Yes.
and Ed is wearing a Che Guevara shirt in this, and I guess
Mm-hmm.
they know that Valentine's having a little soiree at his
Yes.
place up in the
He's
hills.
having a shindig.
Well, I guess they don't necessarily know that yet, right? Because they do the little recon first, right? They kind of get up there because again, it's in the hills, like you can kind of spy across from different
Mm-hmm.
vantage
Yeah. So they
points,
get up there and then they see.
right? And they
So
have little
I love
binoculars, and
this.
he's seen this. He's seen all these guys there in these these
He's like,
suits. He's
they're
like, oh, he's
they're
called in the
idiots.
cavalry.
He's got the
Right.
guards out there and they'll just out in the open.
That's right. That's right. That's what he says.
He's like, what an idiot.
And he's like, oh no, he must be having a party. Those are valets.
And Wilson's like, what do you mean valet? They park your car.
And he's like, who does he think he is? Some fucking marquis?
So they decide they're going to go up and join the party.
I love how they pull up, and the person in front of them has like just a really
Yeah.
like nice,
Nice,
decked out
nice.
car. I can't remember the
I think,
brand, but
I think that one was a Lexus that was up in front of him. I
there's
think.
a Lex.
I
Nice. Maybe not the
maybe.
most the pot, but well, a good car.
Mm-hmm.
And they drive up in a little Ford Beater.
Yeah. It's a Ford Taurus.
And then they get out. I love this. He casually gives the keys to the valet.
And then he tells him,
Right.
keep it close.
And they walk in. And that's right. I was like, keep it close. Yes. Right.
So
And then, so he's walking around, and Eduardo, he's enjoying the party, right? He's making sure he's getting
Yeah.
his different food, and
yeah,
he's just kind of milling around.
he is enjoying
And,
himself while he's there.
I would.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, hey, if some British dude came up to me, like, hey,
Hey, let's
can you help
party
me out
at
with,
some former record producer's house.
with a bunch of like free,
Eat-
awesome
Eat
appetizers?
his expensive food and drink his expensive champagne.
I'd eat it and I'd crop dust all over that place.
Yes. Yes.
But obviously, Wilson has other plans. So
Mm-hmm.
he makes his way upstairs, right? And he's looking around, and he gets to the bedroom, and he sees a black and white photograph of his daughter, Jenny.
Yeah, up at the top of the stairs.
Yep.
And
So he looks at it. He mills around a bit. He gets in the bedroom. He gets into like the master bathroom where he kind of peeks in there,
Mm-hmm.
right?
And Adhara
Yeah.
is in the bathtub.
She's taking a bubble bath. She's, it's like a jacuzzi style tub, right?
Uh-huh.
And so he slips out because hey, he's not like that.
No, he's not. No, he's like, I'm going to give this girl her privacy.
That's someone's daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Like Jenny was my daughter.
Mhm.
I will respect this lady.
Mm-hmm.
She did not kill him, as far as I know. So, right, he goes in the closet. He sees all the suits, right, and then she gets a phone call, right. So she kind of gets out of the tub, puts on a towel, right, and goes, because her purse is like on the bed. She answers it and is trying to give directions to some friends to where the house is,
Mm-hmm.
right. So she's obviously not been with Terry
Yeah.
for very long.
Yeah.
If she's trying to give these directions about where he lives.
Yeah.
Right. And, Wilson kind of sees this, and he slips back out. Right. He comes back downstairs. Right. And here at this point, like he's having, I think we get briefly kind of like these flashbacks again of him. Now he's really thinking about these. It's true flashbacks where he's thinking about Jenny, a younger Jenny.
Younger Jenny when
Right.
she was like a little girl.
Yep. And so they put this in like a different, it's a little bit blurrier,
Mhm.
right? They changed the filter a bit, like, it's
Yeah.
clearly showing it's outside this main timeline, right?
So these are those shots from from Poor Cow.
Yes.
When it's like a clearly younger Terence Stamp.
Right. And we'll get a few more of them later, but yeah. And then he gets somewhere he's like playing on a guitar and he's singing, right? So there's a lot of different things happening with this. So, excuse me. So finally, right? So he and Luis Guzman, they kind of step out
by the pool.
Right?
The pool is like,
talking.
It's really cool. It's like,
yes.
The pool's on stilts, basically. It's out over the edge of the hills.
Yes.
So, like, it's basically on this little, like, peninsula that sticks out from the house.
Right.
And on all sides is just a drop-off down to the ground.
And from the one side of the pool, you can kind of look into the main living room, right? And the living room, you can kind of steer back out, right? And he's staring out there, and he sees
Terry
there.
Over talking to some people, mingling.
He starts having a few daydreams.
Yes. So, yeah, he has a few daydreams of, him just walking up, pulling out his gun, and shooting Terry. He's right in the middle of the party. You get three of them. Three of them. First time, he shoots him in the heart. Second time, he walks up, and for some reason, he shoots him in the elbow.
Yes. Maybe somehow he like slipped somehow, and I don't know.
And then the third time, he shoots him right between the eyes.
Yeah, and you get the blood splatter on the back of the wall right behind him, right?
So then he decides, you know what? I'm gonna do it. And so he
walks straight in,
walking over there, and he's walking up into the same room that Terry's in. He's about to reach.
Eduardo sees this.
Eduardo sees it,
and he just links in his arm, and it sounds like, no, not right now. It's like not the place to do it. Right, and then finally, like they start, they leave again back towards the pool.
But Terry notices him.
Terry notices this, and he thinks it looks odd.
Yeah, he doesn't recognize Wilson
because he's never seen either one of them.
No,
it is kind of an odd interaction.
Yeah, he just thinks it's odd that So he sends one of his guys out.
So yeah, he starts to send them out, and they're talking, and before the other guy can come out, Wilson tells Eduardo to go get the car and have it point downhill.
Yes. Have it point downhill.
And so we get this. We get it.
Wait, no. He did he tell Eduardo to make it point downhill, or did he tell the valet when they dropped it off, keep it close and make sure it points downhill?
I can't remember which way it was, but
I think he told the valet, make sure keep it close and make sure it's pointing downhill.
So so the guy he sends, which I guess is supposed to be one of his main bodyguards, is
not a very good bodyguard.
No. He's all right. So he's not exactly what you would say has the physique.
Yeah, he's not.
So remember, like a few weeks ago, we were doing Terminator 2, and we talk about how we have Arnold Schwarzenegger walking into a biker bar, completely naked.
Yeah,
he's intimidating.
Yeah.
No, this guy looks like I would protect my donuts from him.
Yeah, I mean he's got a belly. He's clearly out of shape.
I have his name. If he give me a second, I can get it. Alan Graff is the actor.
Okay, so he's Gordon,
and his character is Gordon. Yes, who, by the way, does get killed. Arnold Schwarzenegger kills him in Total Recall.
Oh, okay.
Anyway,
so he sends
he's got a belly.
Terry sends Gordon out there to.
We see Terry watching this whole interaction. and he approaches Wilson.
And he barely gets a word in, and Wilson just flips him over the railing, and he plummets to his death.
Well, how casual this is.
He just walks up to him. Wilson just grabs him and just flips him over the railing.
For all Wilson knew, he was going to compliment him on his shoes.
I know. But we're seeing this from Terry's point of view, so we don't hear what's being said. We just see Gordon walk up to Wilson, and Wilson just flips him over the railing. And then somehow nobody except Terry sees what's going on.
And then Wilson just leaves, right?
Yeah, Wilson leaves. And then
he casually leaves.
And then some people walk out by the pool and they look down and they see this dead guy at the bottom of the down on the ground below him. And then they start screaming.
And so then that's what alerts is like Avery, his main guy, to start to Terry tells him about Wilson. He starts to go after him, right?
Yeah, Avery's Barry Newman.
But by this point, Wilson has gotten into the car with Eduardo, and they're driving off in the Taurus. And Avery
goes
gets into his Benz, and he starts to drive after them, right? Again, actually doing the hills, and they're winding roads, right? These are basically the very same roads that she was driving before she died, right?
Yeah.
And so, we get, I love it. We get this little car chase.
Yeah.
And how's the car chase end?
So it ends, Avery rams them.
So no, but Avery actually rams their car. Yes.
Yeah, Avery rams their car. And then they're able to, as Avery's trying to get turned around, they back into him. They slam into him in reverse to make his car inoperable. And then he gets out with a shotgun and comes after him.
That's right.
That they are able to get away.
But like Ed ends up finally calls out for Wilson's name. So like he's able to hear that. And now he's able to connect that in and understand that Wilson, this guy Wilson, is Jenny's dad.
Yeah. Or at least in some way related to her.
Yes.
It's her dad or uncle or whatever. But yeah, they just assume that it's her dad because that would make the most sense. And so now they know who is coming for him. Who is coming for Terry?
All right, I'm finding a few back in my notes. Right, yeah. So then, how Jenny met Ed is that I'm saying not Ed. Met Wilson was at a beach, right? And how he smiled at her, right? And how he never smiled at me.
Yeah.
And then he buried her at a private service. That's right. Okay. So, all right, I flipped through. That's back and all that. So we get.
So then we get some time with Terry, don't we?
Yes. Go ahead. Yes.
We get some time with Terry. Because they make up some story about.
Oh, that's right. We get that scene. Thank you.
The guy was drunk and just fell over the railing.
Right. I love the story they come up with. Oh, he was just a depressed employee.
That's right. That's right. He was a depressed employee that just decided to take a plunge.
Yeah. No. It's like, the cops, they bought it. They're okay with it. It's like
he wasn't thrown over a ledge by an elderly gentleman.
It's like, yeah, no, they're by it. So, but yeah, that's when we get him. Then not Terry, but Avery. So with a few scenes, you don't have Wilson or Valentine. It's
Mm-hmm.
Avery here,
Yep.
right? And he goes into this pool hall,
Mm-hmm.
right? Well, he wants to see the pool. We cut to a pool hall first. Avery's not in the scene
Yeah.
yet,
So
right?
yeah, we cut to the pool hall, and there are these guys playing pool, and there's one really weird dude that's just standing there next to the table holding this pool cue,
Yes.
while another guy is he's racking up the balls, and the other guy that he's playing against. Yeah. So, pool hall creep, I'm thinking, is the weird guy.
Yeah, you think?
He's the creepy one there. it's his break, and the guy that they're playing against, it's like, no, he broke last time. It's my break. I want a break. So they're arguing.
I love the little argument.
They're arguing about who gets to break. Meanwhile, pool hall creep.
It's so
is just
inconsequential.
standing there at the side, just being a creepy.
He's being creepy. Rain Pierre, by the way, plays pool hall creep.
Yes, Wayne Pierre. Or Wayne Perret.
Perret, yes. He was in another Soderbergh movie, The Informant.
That's the one with Matt Damon.
It is the one with Matt Damon. So, finally, where is it here?
So, I'm trying to remember. Did they get into a fight before Avery comes in?
I don't think they ever really get the fight because they just
No.
start playing, I thought. But Avery comes in and he wants to talk with the guy that thinks he's better than all of them.
Mm-hmm.
His name is Stacy, and he's played by Nicky Cat. So they sit down at this little little booth there that's in the pool hall. And he's got a job for him. And he wants to, he's gonna give him this job because he's not connected to Terry in any way.
Mm-hmm.
It's completely disconnected, and he's just a very common level guy that he believes he can trust to do this job.
Yep.
Taking care of this guy Wilson.
Taking care of this elderly gentleman Wilson. This young,
those obese dudes.
This young tough boy can easily take out this elderly chap.
But this elderly chap is Terence Stamp.
That's what he doesn't tell him.
Have you seen Superman 2?
That's what Avery fails to tell him, that this elderly chap is Terence Stamp. General Zod himself.
I like that one, how he kind of opens it up. He's like, do you want to kill someone? So they so I forget where they are. We cut away, and now we have the scenes basically with we got Wilson again. There's now some other again cutting back with flashbacks of different things, and Elaine, right? I think this guy when he's talking more about how oh yeah, I watched her grow up in increments.
Yeah.
Right. Because it's kind of what happened. He'd be in prison and out of prison.
This is where we get a lot of his backstory with Jenny.
Yes.
Through these flashbacks.
And he kind of would tell us oh yeah, she would even when it was out, if she was upset with me, she would, threaten to call the cops on me.
She did not approve of my lifestyle at all. She did not approve of how I got the money. And yeah, she would, when she when she'd get mad, she would pick up the phone and she would threaten to call the cops and tell them everything that I've done. Now, she was always bluffing, but then there was one day, about 9-10 years ago, that she actually followed through. And that was
last I ever saw her.
Yep, that was the last time I ever saw her. I spent the next 9 years in prison, and she came to L.A. and was then found dead in a burning car.
But then that's when, we get kind of these series of shots, but then eventually he gets picked up, right? These guys come up to them like in this parking lot, right? And Nicky, right? He's kind of watching him from afar, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of tracking his movements, right? And they show them and so they kind of go with them. I guess they show them their badges, like DEA, right?
Yeah.
And
that's right.
Or maybe they don't say that yet, but maybe it's when
because they're in a parking garage, and Stacy and his boys jump him.
That's right.
They come out and they jump him, but before they can do anything, DEA comes in and they arrest everybody. That's what it is. Because they've been watching Stacy and his buddies.
That's right. There was a scene earlier where they you see this other car kind of point of view from the car, kind of watching Stacy. It was Terry, right? They're monitoring certain movements, right? Yeah. Or outside the Valentine house, right? So they pick him up, and then he kind of cut into this office, and one of these agents lets Wilson in, right? He walks in and he sees Bill Duke.
Well, first, before Bill Duke, Wilson and Elaine are in a separate room, and Wilson shows Elaine that he took one of their DEA badges.
Oh, that's right. Yes, that's right.
So he pickpocketed one of them.
I forgot about
his
that
badge, and then they come and they take him in to see Bill Duke. And Bill Duke is just sitting down in a chair on one side of the room, in all his Bill Dukeness.
It's like. He's looking at like, I will clean shave every last follicle off that head of yours, old man.
Dry shave your scalp.
No. Wilson just goes into his own little monologue. I don't remember all of it, right? And I love it because he's using
he's using all these British terms. And then when he's done going through his big long monologue,
and Bill Duke is just staring.
Yeah,
he's being quiet. Bill Duke just has his finger on his face.
Yep. He's just taking it in. He's just letting Wilson talk. And then once Wilson's done with his monologue, then Bill Duke's like, I didn't understand a word that just came out of your mouth.
He says, but I think we can help each other. I think we want the same thing, but for different reasons. And then it kind of goes into that backstory we kind of referenced earlier about how Valentine is helping to launder money for drug dealers, right? Because there was a scene earlier at his house where Valentine is talking about how great the 60s were, right?
Yeah,
because that's when he made all his money. It was in the 60s. Right. But, he's struggling for cash now. And so he's laundering money.
Valentine is the Uncle Rico of this movie. He is to this movie what Uncle Rico is to Napoleon Dynamite. He's just living in the past. In his case, it's the 60s. In Uncle Rico's case, it's the 80s.
But I was not expecting that reference to come, so thank you.
I wasn't expecting to bring that reference up, but it just hit me. But so they're they sort of work out a deal, And before, Bill Duke, he dismisses Wilson. And before Wilson leaves, he gives Bill Duke the badge that he stole. And Bill Duke just looks at it and looks at him and kind of just, okay. And then Wilson just, strolls on out of there.
Yep. And more or less the deal is ultimately going to be like, yeah, well, I have no problem if you kill him.
Yeah.
I just need to know who he's running, helping a lot of money for.
Yeah, just need to know. Yeah, just need to know who he's working with. You can kill him if you want to. So is this then when we're back at Terry's house? Or is there more there? More that comes up? Because now they know. Because now they know who is after him. So is this where Avery is really on the lookout?
Oh, I forget. Before I get to that too, before I say, Bill Duke ends up showing him the photograph of the address of Valentine's second home in Big Sur.
That's right. Yes, in Big Sur. Yeah, I love it. I love he grabs the file. He's like, "Oops, I dropped this." He just drops it down on the table right in front of him.
I got Butterfingers. All right. Bill Duke was the perfect choice for this role.
Yes, he was. Yeah, so
it was between Bill Duke and Gilbert Gottfried. They're thinking about it.
Yeah. Gilbert Gottfried would have been interesting. Gilbert Gottfried would have been really interesting. It would be a completely different movie if it was Gilbert Gottfried in this role.
You can fucking kill him.
All right. So so Bill Duke gives him a file with his Terry's second home in Big Sur.
So now, actually, I think the thing that actually happens next is we get a scene back with Stacy, and he's talking with his partner that he usually works with, that's as a hitman, Uncle John, played by Joe D'Alessandro.
Yeah,
right, and he's just not happy about the beating, right? Because they got picked up by the DEA and got roughed around, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to double cross Avery, right? And they know Avery's second home.
Yeah.
So I think more or less their plan is to go up and meet them at that second home and confront them about the entire situation.
Yeah.
Because it was supposed to be a pretty easy thing to go and just kill this old man.
Mm-hmm. But, the DEA stopped him. And if the DEA hadn't stopped him, Terence Stamp would have stopped him. But Terence Stamp wouldn't have just arrested them. He would have killed them.
Well, spoiler alert, that might be coming anyway.
So they decide they're going to go after. They're going to go to the Big Sur home too. And so then we're in that house, and we got Terry and and Adhara and Avery are in
Right,
there,
because Adhara's going up with them. That's right.
and because they want to keep her safe, they want her close by. And once again, she's got nothing to do with his operation, as far as we know. It's,
Yeah.
she's just a girlfriend, and so it's funny. So
wait,
Avery,
before they get up there, that's right. Before they get up there, so Valentine's driving her up there in his car, right? And he keeps looking in his like rearview mirror, right?
yes,
You can tell, like he's like
yes, that's right.
really
He's like,
nervous and concerned.
well, she's like, well, that guy seems to be following us pretty close, and he's like, well, I would hope he would, because it's
Yeah,
Avery.
because it's Avery, right? Right. And like it's funny, like, so they're going up the drive. She's like, "Yeah, I've been in LA all my life. I've never done this drive." Right? Um. So yeah, and she's looking back, and it's like, yeah. And the thing she says, like, "Oh, I guess it's hard to pass on this road." Right? And it's like, yeah, because the guy's following her, right? And the other thing he says, "Oh well, the freeway's faster, but it lacks a certain majesty, right?" Because
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, and he said, "Yeah, I sure hope so." Right? And so yeah, so Avery he's got 3 bodyguards with him. They got Rick, Tom, and Larry. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And Avery is in like he's riding a shotgun. Rick is driving and Tom and Larry in the back. And Tom is having this conversation about how like, they're not happy with their rate that they're receiving. I guess they're getting a
Yeah,
flat
I
rate
mean,
for this job,
when
not an
when you've
hourly
got
rate.
when you've got an old man just tossing the bodyguards over railings, you need more money if you're going to be facing stuff like that.
Right? And so like and Tom's like, travel time down is time. It's time, right? Like, we're not in the same car as a client. We're shadowing him, making sure it's safe. Like we should be getting paid for this time too.
I'm sorry, but you're not a part of the henchman's union. You need
And
to
then he's
join
like,
the henchman's union, then you get all of those perks.
but then he's upset because like he's talking about how Rick is getting the full thing, right? It's like I don't dispute that because he's got seniority. But if I'm getting paid the same hourly rate when we're at the house as I am in this car, that doesn't sit well with me. Because in Seattle, what you're paying for is so-called travel time was half of what we got for her. I just, I, I love how there's like
I mean,
this conversation.
that's like a Tarantino kind of
Hey,
conversation.
it is a Tarantino conversation, and it brings up a legitimate point. If I'm if I'm a hitman getting paid an hourly, not a bodyguard being paid an hourly rate, right? I would expect all that time,
Yeah.
especially if I'm shadowing the car.
Yeah. Then I'm clearly on the clock.
Said yes. It's not like I'm driving separately up to the house. If I'm
No.
driving separately up to the house, unless it's like outside a certain radius, okay, you should be giving me a gas card
Yeah.
to help for the fuel.
Yeah.
I'm not expecting the hourly rate, but I am expecting to help me fuel the car.
Mm-hmm.
If
Yeah,
I had to drive out
you are
an
having me drive
unreasonable
up there.
distance.
But no, when I'm driving to shadow you, that is working.
Yes.
That means I'm on the clock. I'm putting in the time.
I best get paid.
Yeah. And if he were in the henchman's union, then he would be getting paid for that.
So, and so what?
So they get up to the house.
Yep, they get to the house. Yep.
And it's nighttime now. And they hear a car alarm go off. And so Avery, he's on guard, right? And he tells he tells Terry and Adhara to get in the center of the room, stay away from the windows, and he's gonna go check it out. What's the first thing they do? They go and stand by a window, and they're looking out there, trying to see where this car alarm's coming from. Doing the complete opposite of what he told them to do.
Complete opposite. Yes.
So he goes out and he checks outside and then comes back in and he sees them by the window. He's like, I told you not to go to the window. Come over here. Get behind the bar. So they'll go crouch down behind the bar and they see somebody run across by the windows.
At this point, you're thinking it's Wilson.
Yeah. At this point, you're thinking it's Wilson. And so as, this person runs by the door that Avery was just at, Avery shoots at him and hits him. And person falls to the ground. Avery goes out to check, and it's not Wilson. It's Stacy.
It's Stacy.
And so, but Stacy's not dead, right? He's just wounded.
He's wounded. I mean, he's dying.
Yeah,
but
he's dying. Right, he's got a mortal wound, but he's not dead yet.
But he's able to shoot Avery.
Yeah.
And Avery is now dying.
Yeah. So.
But we do hear at some point, there's, they get disturbed also because Rick, one of the bodyguards, Valentine notices that he can't see him anymore. He's wondering where he went.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, we've had that small little shootout that happened, between Stacy and Avery and a few of the bodyguards that get shot. Right. And then at this point, Terry decides he needs, he's not hiding anymore. He needs to investigate further. And so he goes out on the deck and it's, it's dark. It's in the night. Right.
Yeah. And he walks up to Avery, who is laying on the sidewalk on the steps, dying. Terry doesn't say a word to him. He just takes his gun and goes. He just takes the gun out of Avery's hand and
somehow be
keeps walking down the stairs.
Yep. Nice knowing you.
Mm-hmm. My most trusted bodyguard.
Yep. It wasn't very good. So he makes his way kind of off the deck that they had there. And again, like it's kind of on a hill again.
Mm-hmm.
And he makes his way down to the beach.
Mm-hmm.
That's the house is towards. And he discovers the guy Rick there that Wilson had again, and I'm guessing threw off.
Yep. Yep.
Right. And he's there, he's dead, right? And then Wilson shoots him, right?
Well, first
Wilson in the chest, he just shoots him in the leg, right?
Wilson comes down, he's coming down the stairs, and he
That's
passes
he's coming
right
down the
by
stairs,
Avery.
thank you.
He passes right by Avery, and Avery kind of looks up at him.
That's right.
And I mean, Avery can still reach. Doesn't he pick up Stacy's gun?
Yes.
Avery picks up Stacy's gun, points it at Wilson, and then just lets him go. He's like, you know what? I'm not gonna protect this asshole anymore.
That's what I'm about to die. Fuck him.
He walked by me and it just took my gun. He didn't
He took my gun.
He didn't try to help me or anything like that. He didn't have any kind words to say to me. He just took my gun and ran.
Thank you for your service. No, he took my gun and ran. Yes.
So I'm not going to protect his ass anymore.
I don't blame him necessarily.
You go ahead and go kill him, Wilson.
So yes, so Wilson makes it back down to the beach.
Yeah, Wilson makes it down to the beach, and he shoots Terry in the leg. I think it is
in the leg. Yes,
and so Terry
incapacitates him.
Terry gets one shot off.
Oh wait, no, he shoots at him. I don't know if it shoots him. He doesn't hit him, but it's the beach. It's kind of dark. It's on rocks.
So Terry,
and when
Terry
he gets shot out, he gets scared and he slips.
Yes, that's right. He breaks his ankle.
And then he breaks his ankle on the rocks.
Yeah, he twists his ankle, and so he shoots at Wilson, but misses.
But he misses, and he just runs out of bullets.
Yeah, it was his last bullet, and so when he turns to try to run and slips. Yeah, that's right, and he twists his ankle, and so he's stuck on the ground, and Wilson comes up to him. And, points the gun at him and just asks him what happened. How did it happen?
He spills his guts about it.
And he's like, I didn't mean for this to happen.
She found out about my drug ties.
She found out about my drug ties, and she was
threatening to call the cops.
And I lost it. I grabbed her.
I don't know what happened. I lost it. I just started to shake her and
shook her too hard.
She hit her head against the wall or something on the head.
Yeah.
And I was too distraught.
And broke her neck.
Avery and the other guy, they said they'd take care of this and that'd be okay. And he's distraught. Yeah, he's crying about it.
And he's like, I didn't mean for her to die. I didn't mean to hurt her, but yeah. It's like, I just shook her too hard. I shook her and she hit her head and died and broke her neck and,
Right. And we see the shot where Avery, then puts it in the car and then, crashes it. You see it on fire. But then you get the important shot where Wilson now, as he's hearing this, has another flashback.
Yeah.
And it's like a teenage Jenny kind of screaming at him, threatening to call the cops.
Threatening to call the cops. And
it was
that last time that she actually called the cops on him. And he has some remorse, and he's like, because she was doing the same thing with Terry that she always did with her dad.
Yep. And he decides that ultimately it's, it'd be better for him to kind of live with this, not to fully seek out his vengeance. He kind of identifies with that criminal aspect in some ways and love for Jenny. And that Jenny would not have called the cops on him, and that's kind of, or maybe, at least that's, or maybe the way he's kind of seeing it. And so he's going to respect Jenny and not not kill him.
Yeah.
And he walks away.
And Terry lives to see another day.
He lives to see, well, as far as we know, maybe a shark comes up on the beach.
Maybe the tide comes in before he can stand up, and because he has a bum ankle, he gets eaten by a shark.
Or, stung by some killer jellyfish or something, or a man eating anaconda that for some reason is, or maybe a group of nihilists come on the beach.
Maybe.
And threaten to fuck him.
Maybe. And
he suffers a heart attack.
Yeah. Now there is one that I did think of that movie also. When we started this discussion tonight, because I was looking through the cast on IMDb.
Yes.
And they're Brandon Keener plays a character named Excited Guy. the first thing that popped up my
guy in this movie, yes. And you're bringing up Excited Guy. Who's Excited Guy in this movie? I can't remember anyone being excited.
I don't know.
Movie.
I don't remember either. It may be somebody at the party. Because that would be the perfect place to put Too Excited Trampoline Guy.
They put in that guy, Too Excited Trampoline Guy, and woo, fireworks together. And there you have it. So
Yeah. So then we
back
have
to the Limey.
back to the Limey. So yeah, Wilson leaves Terry on the beach,
And then, we get the kind of the final goodbyes of, Elaine.
Yeah. So yeah, he's a. We get
And
the
this is
goodbye to
where
Eduardo
I get the
and-
idea that there should have been a TV show of Wilson and Eduardo going on adventures together.
Yes. Yes.
It would have been a terrific TV series.
Yes.
Maybe they kill other people. Maybe they don't. Maybe it's just about them crashing parties.
Yeah.
And every time, Terence Stamp comes back to LA, he looks at Eduardo. Remember that time I tossed a fat dude off a balcony?
Yeah. So yeah, he says his goodbyes to Eduardo, and then he gets on a plane, flies back to England.
And he talks to the lady there about
There's an older lady
going
that's
back
sitting
to
next
LA.
to him.
I mean, going back to England. She's going back, and this now there's like all these shots you see him on the plane were really this flash of him flying back to London or
Yeah.
England.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's talking with an old lady about England and about his daughter.
Yep.
And it fades to one of the shots from the other movie, where you have the young Terence Stamp playing Donovan's Colors on the guitar at a party. And there's this woman there stroking his hair. I think that's supposed to represent the night that they made Jenny. She was conceived.
Maybe. Could be.
I don't know, but that is the final shot of the movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's Limey.
Again, not my favorite movie in the genre. I would agree with you, but it's a very good movie to watch.
Yes,
it's a very
good movie, enjoyable.
And as a good, it's got a lot of very positive things to say about it. So.
Yes, absolutely.
And there's some brilliant stuff, different scenes in it. So, and I don't think it's a movie that's supposed, wasn't trying to be at the top of everything, right? You could tell that they cared about making this movie, making the movie.
Yes,
and it's highly enjoyable. And hey, guess what? Maybe it is at the top of yours, and if it is, that's fine.
Yeah, maybe you love this movie a lot more than we do, and if you do, that is awesome.
And if you don't, I kind of fear for you because I think Terence Stamp will probably stare into your soul and obliterate you.
Yes.
Or send Ursa after you.
So that's the thing. So this may not be, our favorite movie, but it's good. It's enjoyable.
It's good.
The acting is stellar.
Yes.
The acting in this movie is fantastic. I mean, the
acting's fantastic. I would like to watch it again soon because
yeah,
every bit. What?
You get every bit of Henry Fonda's gums every time he smiles.
Yes, you do. You get
with his
took us a while to bring that up, but yes,
with his gigantic gums and little tiny teeth.
Yes, as opposed to Gary Busey's gigantic gums and gigantic teeth. But yeah, the acting's terrific. I mean, again, Terence Stamp, Luis Guzman. Like I know we've talked about him, maybe not as much as we probably should have, but he slips into this role really, really well.
Yes. I love Luis Guzman.
I
Anything that
love Luis
he's in,
Guzman
he's
too.
always just a pleasure to watch on screen.
He is a pleasure to watch. Absolutely. If he's in it, you know what? Even if the movie's just mediocre, like, you know what? I'm glad I watched this movie because Luis Guzman's in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but overall, it's still a good movie. It's a movie I would recommend to watch because I think you're going to find things, whether you like it as much as we do, like it more, like it a little bit less, you're going to find things in this movie you're going to really enjoy.
Yes, you are. And yeah, so anything else that we missed? You think? I mean, I know we missed stuff, but
Nothing else. I mean, I did want one other aspect of a thing, a connection we missed. What's that? I'm sorry.
No, was there anything else that anything we missed?
I'm sorry. Nothing about the Limey I can think of for right now. I did want to bring up a missed connection from 2 weeks ago when we were talking about Speed.
Oh, okay.
So I remembered a movie we forgot to mention. We talked about Jeff Daniels, and I forgot we talked about him early in our podcast.
We did
when we did Looper.
Yes, that was our first Jeff Daniels.
I know we did 2 movies with him this year, but yes, that was a very early movie that we did that had Jeff Daniels. So I wanted to bring that up.
Yes,
before we wrapped everything up.
Yes, good catch. So, anyway, so that's the Limey. And if you enjoy the podcast, if you enjoy what you're hearing, then go ahead and check us out on our social media. We are on Facebook and Instagram and Threads. It's Rob and Tony's Cinematic Adventure. The and is spelled out, A-N-D. It's not an ampersand like it is the name of the podcast. We are also on X or Twitter. That is R&T Cinematic. And then if you want to check out our reviews on various movies, some we've done on the podcast, some we haven't done, some we will do, some we won't do, then you can check out our Letterboxd. That is Cine Adventure or Cine Adventure, C-I-N-E Adventure. And you can also send us an email. Let us know what you thought of the Limey. Is Terence Stamp your favorite actor of all time? Because, I mean, he's well deserving to be someone's favorite actor of all time.
I would not argue against anyone that picked Terence Stamp.
I mean, Terence Stamp is a phenomenal actor, and it was very sad to see him go. And anyway, so yeah, what did you think of the Limey? Do you think we should do more movies like this? Fewer movies like this? What we want to hear from you. So you can send us an email at robandtonycinematicadventure@gmail.com. Once again, the and is spelled out, A-N-D. It's not an ampersand like it's the name of the podcast. But yeah, just let us know what you think. And if you like what you're hearing, go to our social media, give us a like and a follow. Go to your favorite podcast app, or if you're listening to us, hit that subscribe button. Give us a good rating and a good review. That's how we move up in the standings and the rankings and the search and the recommendations, all that stuff. So that we can, reach more people. So we can speak into more ears.
That's right.
And so, all that said, next time we are, going to be following some suggestions that we've gotten, some requests that we've gotten from some of the comments.
For a John Carpenter movie.
Yes. So we've gotten some requests through the comments in our various social media outlets. This one in particular is from Kyle, our buddy from YouTube.
And he's a John Carpenter fan.
He's a big John Carpenter fan, and he has asked us to do some John Carpenter movies. So our next movie is going to be a John Carpenter movie. And that movie is actually, it's one of my favorite John Carpenter movies.
It's one of my favorites too, and it's one that's been a while since I've seen, so I'm very excited to do it.
As am I. It's been a while since I've seen it too. But we are going to be going with some classic Kurt Russell, and we're going to be talking about Escape from New York. John Carpenter's Escape from New York next time. I cannot wait to watch this movie again. I have always loved it, and it'll be great to watch it again, and then to get on here and talk about it.
You know, we had a lot. Obviously, there's a lot of John Carpenter choices. And I think this will be a good one to start with, and I look forward to doing more John Carpenter movies after this.
Yeah. So join us next time for Escape from New York.